One, two, one, two, one, two, three, four. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
Good afternoon, or morning, or evening, depending on where you are on planet Earth. I am Bruce Leonard, of course. It is Friday, August the 14th. Thank you for tuning in to another hour of Bruce Leonard Leans Left, while it's still legal. Still legal today. But as usual, a lot of shit going on. I'd like to send my thoughts out to the people in Indiana who got flooded out. The whole town of Connorsville was like underwater, and I grew up out there. I'm not in Connorsville. I went to Lawrenceburg High School, and been to Connorsville several times. Drive around their town and circle. But town was underwater completely. 26 feet, I think they said the river got, and it was a record. It had only gotten 16 feet before, so almost 10 feet above the record. I'm glad that climate change isn't real, and it's a liberal myth, because imagine if it was real, how bad this could be. That's like, I'm not even keeping track of what's going on out west, but the Lake Mead is down to like 27%. 4 or 5 states get their water from there, and it's running out of water. And people still continue to try to say that this isn't real. You know, it's not real. It's it tells you just how bad it is. The mentality of people and the denial of reality that's right in their faces, you know. These people have been on the ship now for 9 months straight. People start jumping off the ship because they're going crazy out there. And they had no plan. What's up, Amelia? They had no plan to switch these guys out, or or anything like that. They just started a war. They thought the war would be over in 2 weeks. Now they've been out there for 9 months. And when asked about it,
and it's being replaced with another.
This was Donald Trump's response.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving right now.
The family's concerned. No, they're not.
And it's being replaced with another very similar ship. No. Not nearly long enough.
Not nearly long enough. Where are all the support the troops people now? You support the troops? What about there for 9 months on a dirty ship and they ain't got no food or eat? And the families are expressing their concern, and the President of the United States saying, no, they're not. It's just what I was saying about the climate change. The denial of reality. The level of denial that we're living in this modern age, to me, is mind-blowing. I can't wrap my head around it. Crying Teen says, hello, everyone. Our satellite's being used to trigger earthquakes. His heart striking again. No? You ever notice the one similarities that these countries have to have earthquakes is that they've made deals somehow with Donald Trump. I don't know why people can't wrap their head around the fact that if you are a religious person, this guy could be the Antichrist. That's like, hard to hide that 666 under that fucking rug, though. It's like when it's blowing in the wind. When he's hiding in the deli cart. No, we're not even talking about, like I said, the fact that they, okay, let's say there was a threat to the president's life, even if it's, now they're saying that there wasn't, they didn't really believe that it was that much of a threat, but still, let's say it's a credible threat, right? There's nothing wrong with doing what they did, which is make a ruse and get him out of there somehow, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's the way they went about it. They didn't even tell those people on the plane. They just snuck him off the plane, and then they took off. It's like human bait. Like I said, they could have got shot down. They could not have, but the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, was still on the plane. Scott Bessent was still on the plane. Blue Pile says, did you watch the Candace Owens debate this morning? I lost 10 or 15 IQ points listening to it. I keep telling you this. Why do you listen to these people? It's like, I listened to Dinesh D'Souza. Oh my God, my brain hurts. And the next day he's like, I listened to Candace Owens. Oh, I feel dumber. It's like, yes. Why do you waste your time listening to these fucking jerk-offs? It's like Jillian Michaels keeps popping up in my feed. It's like, dude, I don't give a fuck what some personal trainer thinks about politics of the world. It's like, what did they kick you out of the yelling at fat people business? You know, it's like, it's amazing to me that people listen to these people. Like her opinion about anything means anything except running up a fucking hill or something. Quarantine says Trump's going to send plagues to Central America just like in the Bible. I'm just saying, everybody that does business with Donald Trump, something bad happens to him. Look at the FIFA guy. Right? He was the president of FIFA. He's got the best job in the world. He's just a steward, the most popular sport in the world, and rake in billions of dollars. Right? But he got greedy and start fucking around with Trump, and now look, he's gonna get voted out of his office and lose his fucking job. Venezuela tried to make a deal with Trump. Earthquake. Colombia elected Trumpy president. Trump says $1 billion right away. Earthquake. That's like, being involved with Donald Trump is not good. That's like, that's why I can't believe these people who, like I said, what's her name? Caroline Levitt. She resigned right after that plane thing. Now you think she got left on the plane? They could get shot out of the sky. And the people that Trump took with him, they were nobodies. It was like his former caddy, the butler guy that hid the classified documents for him, the chick that prints out positive social media things to show him. That's who he took with him. He left everybody else on the plane. Blue Bob says, I listen to those debates to hear the person I like, not Dinesh or Candace, but they just get dumber and dumber. Yes. They were never smart in the first place. Let me break news to you. Like, these are these people. You see them and you go, I have no idea why these people are famous. They I mean, Jillian Michaels, she's famous because she was on TV, right? But she was on The Biggest Loser. She's a personal trainer. People are like, well, she's famous, and what does she think about the Iran war? It's like, who gives a fuck? She's a personal trainer. No, it's not some historical scholar. That's the problem with America. Everybody has opinions about shit that they don't know nothing about. Unless you know about the history of the Middle East and all that shit, you shouldn't be talking about it. And this guy was talking about, I guess I told you the other day, strains of Islam. He couldn't even name the strains. He was just like, there's a strain of Islam. Well, which one is it? Are you not aware of the different kinds? No, probably not. Because it's just a boogeyman bullshit. Like all this time they've been talking about the last week, all they've been talking about is WNBA. And the trans people and the WNBA. And like I said, there is no trans person in the WNBA, and there isn't any trans person trying out for the WNBA. It's a completely made up bullshit story. So people like Clay Travis can stay in business, It's like, and Royce White, Enos Kanter, all these people who are washed up ex-NBA players who try to get their name back in the news. Enos Kanter all of a sudden popped up in my feed. All of a sudden, I don't follow him. And just I'll turn on Facebook. There he is. Talking about trans people. It's like, there is no trans person. And then they were like, oh, there's a French player. So I look it up. The chick's like 35 years old. And she's like, I don't know how to play the NBA. She's like, and I'm old. Why would they even want me? There's players better than me. And even if she was going to come, she's already almost 40. So she would only play for a year or two at the most. But she's not playing. That's the point. She wasn't ever going to play. It's not a story. It's made up bullshit. Like most of the shit on the right. Because they don't have any real fucking ideas. They go, we don't have an idea to make this better. As a matter of fact, all this horrible shit that's going on now is because of our policies. I'll give you an example. Something that just happened. Grinding says the next step would be to appoint Kamala as ambassador to Venezuela. Right? President in relief. No, I'll give you an example of just how fucking, like I said, the right wing, right? Upstairs, before I came down here, my mom's watching The Five. Which she always does, I don't know why. That fucking jerk off, what's his name? Gutfeld. I can't stand it. It's like, Greg Gutfeld, professional prick. Anyway. They're all bitching about, or they're all talking about crime. First of all, crime is down, so Trump is going, look, crime is down, and I made it happen. And the truth is that the decline in crime has been going on before Trump became president again, right? But before he was, crime was going down, and Trump said those numbers were fake. It's fake news. Now he's president. Oh, it's real news now. Crime is down and it's all because of me. Which we all know isn't true. But anyway, here's the point. So Gutfeld was going on and on about crime like they always do. And he was like, why don't we do something about the locking people up to the shoplifters and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to myself, do you know why they started being lenient on shoplifting and shit like that? Right? Because in the 80s and the 90s, Republicans, in their war on drugs, passed all these mandatory minimum sentences for drug crimes. And the jails were all filled with drug crime people. So they didn't have any room in the jails to put the thieves and the shoplifters, so they started letting them go. Then it became part of the gig. Now they go, look, they're letting them go. It's because of your dumb fuck policies that put people in jail for having joints and shit. Why the violent criminals the real criminals were getting off. But they don't ever say that. No one ever brings it up in a debate or anything. I watch these shows all the time. No one ever says, if Gutfeld was going on like that, that's exactly what I would tell him. It's like, well, it's all the result of your dumb fuck policies to begin with. Mandatory minimum drug sentence is one of the dumbest things it's pretty universally considered now that it was a pretty dumb fucking thing to do. A lot of those laws have been turned over, and a lot of those sentences have been commuted or people have been let out because they shouldn't have been in prison for fucking 25 years for having a pound of marijuana or some shit. Blue Apollo says, easy fix, let's just build more prisons and lock up more people. See? That's exactly what a fascist would say. When did they raise you youngins to be such bootlickers? It's amazing to me the difference. Like when I was growing up, my father taught me the law. He taught me the Constitution. He taught me all my rights. He taught me what to do if a cop fucked with me or not. And he was like, "This is all about your freedom and your rights." And everybody has to fucking know and stand up for themselves, or the fucking state will fucking run you over. But no, you young kids are like, yeah, just build more prisons, lock them up. Yeah, go give the ice the Batman zap gloves. I don't fucking care. You know, like, it's like why are you for this, Blue Apollo? You said the other day that you wouldn't even mind scrapping the Constitution. It's hilarious to me that you don't understand just how important the Constitution of the United States is in the history of freedom of mankind. Now, is it the best thing ever? Like, no. Does it have its problems? Sure. You're seeing the problems now. Blue Apollo says, I just don't like the free world. Everyone running around doing drugs and jaywalking and shit. There's no decorum. Well, I don't think that has anything to do with being free. I mean, what do you think? If someone jaywalks, a cop should fucking tackle him? That's like, zap him with the electro gloves. Now, I agree with you. We've lost the ability to be nice to each other, to interact. Everybody's staring into their phones. That's what I'm saying to you is when I feel bad for your generation because you guys grew up with that shit in your hand. You don't even know what it's like to think without someone stirring around inside of your brain. They've been doing it since you were born. That's the part that's scary, really, if you really step back and think about it. And you know, if you admit in your heart, you'll know I'm right. Unless you had parents that didn't fucking, let you use the iPad when you were 5 or whatever. Blue Apollo says, I think we should not discriminate on crime, give everyone the maximum sentence for lower crimes to at least counteract it, put people in check, show them their consequences. Right? You want a police state. It's called a police state, my young friend. It's like, he's like, throw the book at him. It's like, now, do I not agree with you that sometimes, that they let these people out of jail? And I see it on the news too. And I go, what the fuck? How did you? Crying Teen says, is injustice preferable to disorder? Not in my book. First of all, it's not that disorderly. I mean, it's like, people are assholes with that. It's a selfish prick culture that we have cultivated in this country that creates this problem. That's what I'm saying. It's not a community anymore. They taught you that your neighbor is your enemy, And people live that way. You see, Blue Plus says yes. He doesn't care if there's some injustice as long as is everything is clean and orderly. Ken Catman says, I buy my crack. I smack my bitch right here in Hollywood. Yes, exactly. I told you how much you could write System of a Down lyrics all day. It would be meaningful. They're one of the few bands, and they said they don't have much fluff. Most of their songs are hardcore and talk about serious shit. That's why I like them. Not to mention the musicianship is incredible. I find that, like I said, Blue Apollo, I find it sad that you guys don't realize how important freedom is. And when you give it away, how hard it is to get it back. I think you take it for granted. You just hope that it's like every right wing person. You're okay as long as they don't turn it on you. But there's no guarantee that they won't. Don't you see? It's like giving a guy a gun with a bunch of bullets, a loaded gun, and then going, I just hope he doesn't shoot me. Like, he shot that guy over there. That's all right. He didn't get me, That's like. Power cannot be concentrated to that was the point of the Constitution. Was it too much power could not be concentrated to one person's hand? If there was checks on them, that's why I call them checks and balance. But see, they got rid of all the check and balance by clearing out the Congress and putting in all the nutlickers, and that's why we're where we're at. Blue Plus says everyone has taken freedom for granted. There's no consequences for anything at all today. I don't know about that. You don't know anybody that's in jail or prison? I don't know about that. And see, to me, that's preferable than for the state to be able to grab you up and make up cases against you like they're doing with the reflecting point. Hey, what's up, Neil? I'm doing the reflecting. Neil says, why are all the worst comedians megatards? Well, right-wing humor is not funny. To me, if you ask me this question, it's because they think that being an asshole is funny. It's like, no, you're just an asshole. Now, are there funny assholes? There can be. Don Rickles was a funny asshole, Neil says, or at least the ones with no clever material have to use obscene jokes to get laughs. Right? Stan Durko says, no consequences for a sex abuser president. No, Donald Trump's never faced consequences hardly for anything. But see, I figured it out. Like, Trump's whole thing is revenge. Right? That's what, for a long time, among the rich people that Trump hangs out with now, right? They never took him serious. He was always a fake billionaire. He had more debt than he had money. Neil says, John Rickles was a Jew lib. No. Yeah, sweetheart is well off the stage. Yeah, but I'm saying he was an asshole when he was on stage. Shane Gillis, no. I never, and first of all, Joe Rogan, I don't know if I'd consider right wing. Like, he's not Nazi right wing, but he definitely he's part of that manosphere thing where, bullshit masculinity. Tony Hinchcliffe sucks. And Gillis was on Rogan's show just now talking about how universal health care is not communist and we should have universal health care and that he didn't vote for Trump, Quarantine says the future of global politics is Twitter polls. I think that's what Elon Musk thought when he bought it. Blue Plus says he's very liberal with his ideas. Who? Rogan? Rogan has a mix. That's what I'm saying. It's like Rogan's not easily pitched. He has right and left views. He's not. That's what I mean. He's like me. He's kind of like not really at a party, Just a guy. Neil says, I hate how Maher is the face of liberals or just progressivism. I mean, maybe 90, sure, but now he's pretty much a right-wing conservative. Yes, Bill Maher, I know. I know what you mean, Neil. I don't like him anymore. I used to like him. He's too, first of all, he's too pro-Israel for me now. And I hate these people that can't concede that Israel has gone too far. It's like at a certain point, you got to be like, come on, man. Even if you were with them in the beginning, it's like, dude, you got to stop at some point. And what they're doing in the West Bank is even worse, and no one's really talking about that. Blue Policy is a conservative. We don't accept Bill Maher. Well, of course. Of course not. I mean, no one would think that you did. But he was going through that. He was doing that fucking it's communism thing. He's like mainstream Democrat. Here's what the Democrats don't get. Everybody keeps talking about why is this Democrat socialism bubbling up? Why is it coming up? And the gig is the Democratic Party has not really represented the left wing of their party. And as a matter of fact, they've asked us to fucking swallow shit so many times. And just swallow shit and vote for the fucking, milk toast. But that hasn't been working. I mean, for a while it worked, and they won elections. And so everybody just kind of went along with it. But the left wing of the Democratic Party has been grumbling for quite some time. Years and years and years. And after they fucked over Bernie, they were really like, hey, we're not going to take this shit anymore. And that's when they started really organizing themselves. And that's why you see the Democratic Socialists rising up in the Democratic Party. But that wing of the party is never going to go away. And they're also not going to just swallow shit anymore and vote for shit candidates. That's why all these people, even the Asian lady in Wisconsin or whatever, barely lost. She almost won. And she had some pretty fucking far out, she said some pretty far out shit. They've been running that Thanksgiving thing from now until November if she would have won the race. Oh, she wants to get rid of Thanksgiving. It's like... Because that's, again, they don't have any fucking real ideas. Neil says there was a period from the 70s to the 2000s where Jews were cool. Woody Allen, Mel Brooks, Larry David, Oy vey, but then it all tore apart for them. Even Spielberg, Kubrick, they had heavyweights, them Jews. Yeah, but I don't think that Larry David supports what Israel is doing. That's what I mean. When people say that when you criticize the Israeli government, that you're anti-Semite, but that's just a bullshit thing that they use so that they don't listen. They don't have to listen to what you're saying, because I know plenty of Jewish people who don't support Benjamin Netanyahu and believe that Israel has gone too far. The problem is how do you reel it back in? It's like they're not stopping. I said these settlers are going in the West Bank and fucking with people, and taking their land and shit. If it's up to them, there would be no Palestinians. They would just take over all the land and kick them all, and then where are they going to go? Nobody knows. But it's not an easy fucking... Neil says, nah, but my point, Bruce, is that Jews were seen as cool. And even I wanted to be a Jew at one point. But now it's like they're Satan incarnate. I don't think that's wrong to say. And that's when you say things like that is when you give people like Scott Jennings and people the ammunition to say that, look, anti-Semitism is on the left, and it's like, come on, man. There are plenty of cool Jews. Blue Passes, are those guys practicing Jews, or do they just identify as Jewish? I'm not sure. Larry David on his show, he's always like, "I don't go to the thing," but there's a rabbi, so yeah. I would imagine that they do. I don't know 100% for sure. I can't say. I know Bill Maher, I think, is, and practices. Stan Durko says Israel has become a terrorist organization. Well, what happened to, like I said, what happened to us is what happened to them, is they let bad people take over the fucking country, and the average person in America doesn't want this war that's going on. This is Trump's war, whether he wants to take responsibility for it or not. It wouldn't be going on if it wasn't for him. And they didn't have a plan for it. That is clear. It's like they didn't have a strategy or a plan or a way to get out. I think they really thought 2-4 weeks tops, and Iran would roll over, because they don't know anything about the history of the Middle East. And, if you really think about it, Iran, they've been waiting for this for a long time, you got to think that's true. And they obviously had a plan in place. They were like, everybody might die, but here's the succession plan. We're doing this. Quarantine says in the Democratic Party, half of the members have a sexually transmitted disease. You think the Republicans are cleaner? That's another problem in this country. I said we'd let shitbags take over the politics in this country. And the politics in this country aren't even politics anymore. That's it. It's all bullshit. Like I said, about like, are trans people going to play the WNBA or not? And you know, illegal immigrants. There's a commercial about illegal immigrants. I think I didn't count it, but it's like as many times as Rob Zombie says "yeah" in a White Zombie song. This commercial says illegal immigrants like a hammer. It's like illegal immigrants, illegal immigrants get your tax money. Illegal immigrants get your health care. Illegal immigrants. It's like it's so plainly brainwashy that it's like it's hard for me to believe that people can't see through this shit. And I think they will this time because I said gas just went up 25 cents overnight the night before last. Blue Apollo says, it's always been since the formation of the OSS we used Jewish refugees for information when the Allied forces invaded Sicily. We worked hand in hand with ethnic Jews for a long time now. Well, yeah. And? They're the ones who formed all those resistance networks and shit during the fucking wars. Them and the French, la resistance. Stan Zucker says, I bet any guy who thinks that they can play in the WNBA will get smoked. Well, these guys are washed up. Like I said, they're ex-NBA players for a reason. They're old and... Royce White is the one I can't believe. Like Enos Kanter, he's always been like a guy who talked off the court, you know, and you could tell that he thought highly of himself and wanted to. He was always talking about the Turkish government. That's why it surprised me that he pivoted to this trans thing. But anyway, Royce White, literally, I swear to God, Royce White literally abused his wife and kids. And has a 50-year stay where he can't be around his wife and kids. And he ran for the Senate in Minnesota. Of course he lost. That's another problem with this country. You know who won? Remember Michelle Tafoya? The sideline reporter for Monday Night Football? She won the Republican primary for Senate in Minnesota. Again, it's just like Julia Michaels. You know, it's like, okay, I got nothing against Michelle Tafoya. Yeah, she was on TV for a long time, but like, what the fuck does she know about being a senator in the United States or the government or anything? No, she's just a Trump nutlicker. Another toady for Trump that will just a rubber stamp vote for Trump. That's what she is. That's all she is. Just like Lindsey Graham's sister. Same shit. What does she know about being a fucking senator? Her brother was a senator, but that doesn't make her a fucking senator. But people vote for these people. Anyway, so Royce White was running for Senate. Minnesota, of course he lost. And he has no career. So as soon as Enos Kanter said that thing, he was like, yeah, me too. It's not even original. But my point being, how shameless these people are. It's like, dude, you're a convicted abuser of your family. Got a 50-year stay. You can't even be around them legally. And yet, you're trying to run for the Senate. He's a Republican. Like, Neil says Mexicans have more ancestral ties to North America than Jews have to Israel. By North America, I mean the broader U.S. as well, right? Stewart comes in with, what does AOC know? Went from a mediocre bartender to a socialist. She has a college degree, at least. And I said that before on this show, and you weren't here. I said that. It's like she's a bartender. She got elected. She's a bartender. But now she's been in the Congress for a while. And I said, you learn on the job. And she has experience now. Ken Captain says Mr. Dealmaker is getting his ass kicked. Right? He's all like, we control the strait 100%. Do you now? It's like, well, the gas go up 25 cents. That ain't no shit. 25 cents went up. They say Indiana, over there in Indiana, it's cheaper. The gas is cheaper because he suspended the gas tax. But in September, that's going to go away. And their gas is going to go up 60 cents a gallon overnight. Unless the governor fucking puts keeps the tax off. Crying Teen says, should we consider performing an exorcism on Chuck Edwards? I thought you meant John. I was like, whatever happened to John Edwards? Remember him? He was like a rising star in the Democratic Party. And he was like, oh yeah, this guy could be the next president. And then he got caught like fucking around on the set, cheating on his wife or something. And then he just disappeared, never to be seen again. Neil says, yeah, but Bruce, why don't people use that as an argument? They easily villainize Mexicans as despicable, illegal aliens. But that is more applicable to Jews in Israel. Yeah, perhaps. I'm one of the people that says, why can't they both exist? I see why Israel exists. I get it. After the Holocaust, they're like, hey, we got to do something. We put these people somewhere where they can at least protect themselves, but they chose to put them in the worst possible place. I love how you just spew fucking talking points, Stuart, sometimes from years ago. It's like, and you can always do that. It's always an option. Hybrid or electric vehicle. But you're now, because of data centers, your fucking electricity is expensive too. There is no cheap option. Now you gotta be scared you can't eat nothing. Everything you eat's got explosive diarrhea or salmonella or fucking measles. That's like, I don't know, Stuart, how you could keep telling yourself by any objective measure that this is okay. Like, what do you think, Stuart, about the fucking sailors jumping off the fucking ship? What do you think about that? And the families expressing their concern and Trump saying, no, they're not concerned. Yes, Blue Apollo, that's what I was going to say. They've been persecuted for years and years and years and years and years. But you could also say that about gypsies or other people. Neo says, as a career comedian, do I think that my politics and ideologies in any way has had a detriment to my career? No, because I have generally not centered my comedy around that. Like there's a piece. I talk more about culture, in general. The things I like to make fun of, like religion and just the system itself. The very fact that we have a system where you send a billionaire money. Stuart, he didn't die. He jumped off the boat. They said about 6 or 7 people tried to jump off that boat. And if you see pictures of it, it's fucking disgusting. And they've been out there for 9 months with no plan to fucking get them out of there. They're just out there because your fucking dear leader doesn't have no fucking idea what he's doing. He has no fucking plan. I just don't understand how you can keep telling yourself that this is okay. That I said gas went up 25 cents the other night. It's just going to get worse. Because, like I said, there's no oil coming in and the reserves are down. The supply goes down, the price goes up. And if this goes on till November, you may be paying $5 a gallon. Ken says all Republicans fucking kiss ass. That's pretty much all they do. Yeah, that's pretty true. Stan Joko says undocumented immigrants is the term. Trump's plan is no plan. Yes, exactly. Look into it, Stuart. Of course, Trump will tell you it's all fake news, but all this is happening. Pete Hegseth down in Panama making social media content. Talk about how we're going to bring the violence to the... it's like a Key and Peele sketch. But it's like, why is he down there? Isn't there a fucking war on? They act like... I said they're running a reality TV show. That's what they're doing. Only they happen to be fucking up the entire world economy in the process. Neil says, did you hear how President Trump is charging $100K a month for early access to his tweets to control the market? Yes. Yes. And I was talking about it the other day. Like, he's also embezzling money from all over the government. You really believe in yourself, Stuart, when you say this kind of bullshit? Are you fucking serious? Biden had left, the strategic reserve was full. You can look it up. That's one of the things Biden was smart about, trading oil. He sold it when the price was high and made money. Then when the price dropped down, he bought it back and filled it back up. And then when the price went back up, he sold some more, made some money. He actually made a lot of money for the government trading oil. Of course you wouldn't know this because you watch fucking Sean Hannity and Fox News exclusively. So you live in a delusional, factless universe. It's like... Which is true. It's like this cart thing, this deli cart thing. The Washington Post caught him hiding in the deli cart on the plane. They tried to lie and say it wasn't, but then they had to admit it was true because you know what? The media isn't lying to you like they tell you it is. They're telling you the truth. They're telling you things that they don't want you to know. That's why Trump hates them, not because they lie. Neil says, wait, Bruce, what's your opinion on Ted Kennedy? I thought apart from that horrible scandal, he was a great guy. Besides leaving that woman to drown in his car. I think that he did a lot of good. Yes, but I think he was also a shitbag person. I was like, I'm not going to stand here and say he was a great stand-up guy. You believe every single thing they tell you, don't you, Stuart? That's hilarious. Trump is the biggest coward. Yeah, right? It was a picture of a deli cart. It said, fight, fight, fight. Like I said, to me, the egregious thing is not that they said, well, let's try to keep the president safe as if something could happen, right? It's that they didn't tell anybody else and that they sent them up in the air like I said, like human bait while he was hiding in another plane. What if Iran had really shot that plane and killed the whole press corps and the Secretary of State, Scott Bessent, the other people that he left on the plane? Maybe Caroline Leavitt, which is why she said, I'm fucking quitting. So there's something going on with the Caroline Leavitt thing because it wasn't, they said, oh, she wants to spend more time with her kids or whatever. But there was some video of her and Trump and I think that assistant bitch that fucking prints out positive social medias to show to Trump. Look, Jordan came back. And I'm still laughing. Cryantine says Melania could win an election and teach Hillary a lesson. No, she couldn't. She couldn't even sell a movie ticket. No one wanted to see that fucking movie. Stan Hooker says if Trump tells Mega that the ocean is pink, they will believe him. Yes, that's what I said. It's a cult. The very fact that that this is going on with the troops, and people like Stewart are still like, it's okay. It's horrible. It's terrible. Neil says, sometimes I think people like Stewart are horribly misinformed, brainwashed, best case scenario, or like nihilists to get a kick out of watching the world burn. Maybe. Blue Paul says, Iran would get nuked so fast if Trump was assassinated, and all the info we get is from Israel on the attempts, totally muddying the water. Well, yeah. The more the story comes out, the more they were saying the Turks were saying they didn't believe that story either. And the CIA doubted that it was true. But I agree that they can't even take the chance. What if they ignore it and then it did happen? Everybody's ass would be on the fucking, It's one of those things where you kind of got to do something, especially after they let that kid walk right through the crowd with a rifle and climb up that building. As a person who's done security at big events, the very idea that happened, like when I saw those videos, I'm like, who the fuck are these? Is this fucking Shiny Wizard said, so what am I about? Is it as evil as every other channel? No, we have discussions here, Shiny Wizard. I don't like to think of myself as an evil person. Blue Apollo says, I wouldn't be surprised if Israel assassinated Trump. It's a prerequisite to invade or nuke Iran. Now, see, that's where you get for the conspiracy mindset. Now, I got to try to be careful, I guess, is what I might say. But it's not, I guess I'd say it's not beyond the realm of possibility, but I don't think they would do that. Neil says, wait, Bruce, what's your opinion on non-voters? I believe in lesser two evils. It's quite clear right now, more than ever, which side is least evil. Of course. And I think non-voters, just shut your fucking mouth. If you've never been involved, then, get involved or shut the fuck up. If all you gotta do is sit on the sideline and bitch. Blue Apollo says, all Trump says is if I die, nuke Iran. It's predictive programming at its finest. They're getting us ready for it, so we don't question the narrative. We can call back to this. What? Now, see, that's some QAnon shit. So Trump signs off on his own assassination so he can start a nuclear war. But of course, he's already dead, so. Now, does Trump, such a fucking self-centered, narcissistic sociopath that he would leave his own family to fucking suffer the horrible fate that would happen after that? Sure he is. Stuart, like I said, the fact that you just keep spewing out, like I said, such stuff that you saw on Sean Hannity is like, it's unbelievable to me. I mean, I get it that there's people out there who are that drunk with propaganda that's you turn your brain off, like Shiny Wizard says, was Trump a racist drunk whore Trump? For the win. Yeah, but was it good? No. It's like what she would have done? Came in and probably not done much. Everything would have kept going along the way it was going, which was not as bad as this. That's what I mean. It's like, this is the worst possible thing that could ever happen to a country. Blue Plow says the media will hint at things before they happen. When we go back to recall what led up to it, you remember these little plants in the media to make it seem more legit. It's predictive programming. What do you mean? Grinding says Biden died in 2005. What we have seen over these years is a cyborg. No, Biden's about to really die, I think. They said, or Hunter Biden said his prostate cancer is real bad now. It's in his bones and shit, so he's gonna die. They ain't got no nukes, bro. And they didn't have any nukes until Trump tore up the fucking agreement. Don't you get this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. I love how nobody ever goes back to the original fact that Trump tore up the fucking agreement. And then Iran immediately kicked out all the inspectors and shit that were there. And they started enriching uranium because he tore up the agreement, so they were no longer fucking had to follow the rules. Neil says, Stuart, guy, you're 22 years old. Your brain hasn't matured because you believe. No, Stuart's older than 22, isn't he? I think he got confused with Blue Apollo. Blue Apollo's the young kid. How old are you, Stuart? I never asked, but you seem like an older guy. You're married and shit. I mean, I guess you can be married at 22, but... ISIS says, I have created an AI that is self-aware. I have decoded self-consciousness, right? And you can't contain it. That's not true, shiny wizard. When the fuck you hear that? King Captain says she wouldn't sell ketchup to a woman in white gloves. Yeah, they had Barack Obama. See, that's what I said. Stuart's 50. He's my age. I think we've ascertained that before. That's why I was saying when he said 22. Yeah, Blue Paul, because we were talking about it before. I remember now. I said he's the one that's 22. Neil says, Christ Almighty, I saw 2004 and I thought 22. But that's what I mean. People who are born past the year 2000, like I said, those are the generation of people that, like I said, they have never grown up without somebody inside of their head with this technology, with technology, When I was young, we didn't have that, You had to read a book or go outside and play or, you had to do shit. You had to learn who you were yourself. You guys had people stirring around inside the skull, like, since you were a fucking little kid. Recovering Cynic says, how long do you think BB last decided Trump? I don't know. He's got to get through this election in October. You know that? There's a snap election in Israel in October. BB could lose his majority in power or whatever. But I guess we'll see. That's why he's got to ramp it up. He's like, you need me. He's like, BB's like Jack Nicholson. He's like, you need me on that wall. I love how you guys keep saying that shit about the border and all this shit. But it's like, dude, please go outside and walk around and tell me how you fall and stumble over immigrants laying on your fucking street curbs and shit. You're full of shit. It's like, people have been always coming to this country. Stan Urkel says, I'm old, 61, but I don't fall for the madness of Trump. Blue Pop says, my first 13 years was riding the bus to my friend's house, biking outside skate parks. After that, it all went downhill with the technology. Blue Pop says, I'm glad a few of my generation got to experience that for at least a couple years. Well, I'm talking about, if you had parents that didn't do that to you, then that's good. And, hopefully they're still out there. But like I said, I saw people, it was a baby that couldn't even talk. They gave it the phone. They were like, it loves the phone. I was going, and I was like, to me, that's scary because I said, people are fucking, see, all you guys are, I find it hard. No, I see your deal. Did I miss something? He said, that's more embarrassing if you're 53 and thinking like this, Stuart. I think that too. I say the same thing all the time. It's like they don't live in a factual universe. They've checked out of objective reality. Stuart's kind of guy, like I said, they'll stand there with his whole fucking town is underwater in a 1,000-year flood event, and the lake is freeing out. What are you talking about, shiny wizard? I don't even know what that means. What veterans? I wasn't shitting on veterans. Stewart says Trump was elected on border security, so you can ignore, deny all you want. That's why Trump is president. Well, no, it was, but you got taken. That was the issue, yes. But he's lost people on that too. For this ham-handed, fucking incompetent, violent approach. It's dangerous. It gets people killed. What are you talking about? You call me a child. Look at the things you're saying. It's like, you haven't made a cogent point. I don't know what you're even talking about. You're just flying off the handle for no reason. Neil says, I don't know what got you. You're trying to pull, Stewie. Crossing illegally was still a crime, Stuart. If you even looked up the stats, you would see millions of expulsions and deportations. Of course. But see, they deported a lot of people, but they didn't make a big show of it. But if you look at the numbers, Obama deported way more efficiently and faster than Trump. They have quotas now. So the other day it said ICE arrested 10,000 people in one day. You think that these people are all criminals? Of course they're not. Shiny Wizard says, I know it was fought for, and it wasn't this. What do you mean? It wasn't this? No, it wasn't this. What, you get shit on by rich people and the corporations control your entire life? We got to struggle to fucking live, and you can't afford to buy a house and shit? Yeah. Yes. That's what I'm saying. This is not what you want, where Trump is getting rid of all the corruption fucking laws and clearing out the fucking... All right, Stuart, but what about with the guys following all the rules? Hey, what's up, airline pilot? It's good for you to come back. I'm okay. No, I'm not done. I mean, for the last few episodes, as long as people talk, I've been going over. I mean, we're into something. But, what do you think, Stuart, about these guys that are following all the rules and they go to their immigration check-in and ICE just arrests them there? What do you think about that? All you guys that keep saying, oh, as long as they follow the rules. Neil says, across Biden's full term, January 2021 to January 2025, Border Patrol recorded roughly 10 or 11 million encounters at the border, with the vast majority occurring in fiscal years 2022 through 2024 as crossings hit record highs. During that same period, DHS removed or expelled about 4.4 to 4.8 million people, including more than 1 million under Title 42 before it ended in May 23, and hundreds of thousands more. Yes. Blue Bob says, Minnesota is really bad. A lot of places are Muslim and Somali-owned, and the city-owned places hire Mexicans who can't speak English to me, so foreign. There is a lot of Mexicans. I will agree. There's way more Mexicans that don't speak English than ever was when I was young. That's for sure. I mean, when I was young, you hardly see any Mexicans. I told you, when I moved away from Indiana for 10 years, and I came back, and I was driving to Bloomington to do comedy, and I crossed a fucking... No, Stuart, I'm talking about people with papers. They go to regular immigration check-ins. They follow the rules. You see, this is what you guys always do. You didn't listen to what I said. You think they should get arrested when they go to their immigration check-in? They're following the rules, aren't they? These are law-abiding people. They might not be citizens, but they got some kind of paper. And they got a regular check-in. And they go to their regular check-in. And there's the ICE! Because there's a quota on. They got to get as many as they can. This is where you become a hypocritical shitbag, you know. Because you say, oh, they follow the rules and do all that. Well, these guys are following the rules and doing all that. And they're still getting jacked up. You're not defending them. Because the truth is, you just want all the immigrants out. You know, why don't you just fucking say it? Blue Boss says, I went to my ski hill last winter and a Mexican speaking broken English tried to tell me I couldn't smoke a cigarette in the chairlift. I said, fuck you, this is America. Now, see, and it's freedom. Now you're starting to get it. The truth is, he's just another asshole. It says, mind you, it's an outside open lift and I wasn't smoking. What do you mean? Smoking line. What does that mean? I'm sure it's not a smoking place. I'm sure you're breaking the rules. But being a rebel's okay sometimes. It's like, there's nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, that's American. That's what I'm saying. See, Stewart's like, yeah, get him out. You think those guys that are putting the roof on your neighbor's house, you think they're sponges? They're fucking working their asses off. You climb up there on that fucking roof with your old ass. You're not going to... Yes, Dedrico, he's trying to. It's been my contention on this show for quite a while. Like I said, the system itself is too weak to protect itself. See, Blue Powell's like, yeah! I don't get it. I just don't get it. There's this fantasy that you have that there should be some lily white kingdom. That you could just get rid of all these people. That means no, it will not. You got a long way to go. But see, these guys will see you, who's probably a troll, saying this. But anyway, even if you're not, and they'll go, see, look, it's an invasion. He just invaded the comments. Pretty soon this comment section will be under Sharia law. Blue Pass says, me and Stuart may disagree on the bad things, but we agree on the good ones. But what? Like I said, you think that's good? I mean, what you want is not even fucking... No, I don't fucking support any religions. Your religion, my friend, is just as dumb as ours. All religions are equally stupid. Standard says Trump said when he got rid of the immigrants, jobs would be there, prices would be cheaper. Right, but it's a fucking... Quarantine says the problem is that the ghettos were eliminated. Better to be orderly than racist. Well, that's what you said earlier about the injustice. Rather have industrious or injustice or, disorder. I don't think I think you can have both. And we have for the most part. That's why I said this whole right-wing fantasy that the world is coming down all around you is bullshit. You go outside. Now, this country has always been had problems, especially racial problems. A lot of racial tension throughout the years. Daniel says, Bruce Deadly channel, love it. Sending farts in a jar, homegrown, coming your way. Thank you. I appreciate it. Blue Paw says, if I go 5 minutes down the road, looks pretty ghetto to me. Right, exactly. So my rich neighborhood has moved section 8 houses in on my block. Right? Look, now Nabee's like, Mom Donnie! Mom Donnie's a perfect example. He doesn't turn New York City into a fucking... Stewart says, who pays for health care for illegals? They don't get benefits. They don't have Medicaid. They don't get any of it. Everybody goes to the ER who's poor. What is this? Blue Plaza had to watch the neighbor beat the shit out of his girlfriend the other night. When I said I was going to call the police, he told me to because they wouldn't do anything. Now, I possibly could believe that. I mean, that's another problem is the police, you know. You see all these, you seen these stories, Blue Paul, about the police using flock cameras to like stalk chicks and all kinds of shit. Have you seen that? They say there's so many cops getting in trouble now for using the flock system to track people, their wives or girlfriends or their mistresses or or just people that they don't like. Stan Urkel says Mega believes everything a sex abuse the president tells him. Right, exactly. Neil says these people yap about the American Revolution with so much reverence, but preach everything our founding fathers are fundamentally against. Right, exactly. Blue Paul says our founding fathers created a republic. It's far from. Yes, and I explained to you why. Because you've neutered the Senate with all your mega fucking nut lickers. You voted in a bunch of people so spineless that they just handed over their own power. Because all they want is to be yes men and sycophants and to cash in. Bunch of soulless fucking shitbags as they're taking over your party. Pilfering everything they can. Blue Plow says, yeah, my dad's a First Amendment auditor on YouTube. He doesn't really like the police culture at all. I agree, but I do sympathize with them. People are crazy. Yes, but you know what you're signing up for when you take that job. People are crazy. You don't know what people are going to do. Even people that you think that you know what they're going to do, they surprise you sometimes. You go, oh, wow, I didn't expect that, Truth is, you don't ever really know anybody as much as they let you to know them. Some people are more closed off than others. Some people have learned to wear masks and be fake. That's what I think about like all these shows that they have. Reality TV is really fucked up culture too, if you ask me, because it glorifies that. Like Big Brother and Survivor, all those shows are about watching how people can lie to each other in their faces and then stab each other in the fucking back. And that's celebrated in this culture. That's part of the reason why, what you were talking about earlier, where you were. Thanks, Blue Apollo. And as always, thank you for hanging out. Quarantine says the most logical option is for all Mexicans to stay in New Mexico, all black people in Alabama and Muslims in California, and spark a war between wokes and Muslims. I don't know why anybody has to have a war with anybody. That's my point. I don't know why we can't evolve past this. And why are people so concerned with what other people do if they're not hurting other people? What's the fucking, Good afternoon, Russell. Nomo just jumped in here and told me to shut up. You know what I'm talking about. She's like, how you doing? Shut the fuck up. Stan Durga says, I watch lots of First Amendment auditors. Really? What is that? I never even heard of it. Sometimes you show your age. You're like, oh, what? I'm on YouTube. I don't know nothing about it. I don't watch it. Stan Durga says, I have many Muslim Latino friends. Me too. I've managed to get along with almost everyone I've ever met in my life. No matter their background or what country they came from, or if they're black or they're white or they're Mexicans. It's not that hard to be a decent human being. I mean, apparently it is for some people, but I don't know why. Personally, when I meet somebody who's not from here, I'm curious. I want to learn about where they're from and their culture, these things, food they eat, stories they tell, I'm interested in it. Like I said, the truth is, what these guys want is a pipe dream. There will never be a white lily fucking fantasy land where everyone is white and Christian. It's never, no one's gay. It's like, there's never going to be that. Blue Apollo says, real quick before I forget, my dad's YouTube is AZ Unfiltered with the pig profile picture. I'll check it out. Thank you. Avira says, what about gays? Do you have any gay friends? Yes, my uncle was gay. I mean, he's passed away, and I have lots of gay friends. And it's not about that. I'm talking about these people that have this fantasy that they could just get rid of all the immigrants and like say cleanse this place, to get rid of all the Muslims and all the people who aren't white and Christian, and that they could create some kind of utopia where it's just white Christian people, who live there. Now, if you did that, it'd be the most boring fucking place. Be boring as fuck. You be standing around frying sticks of butter and shit like they do at the county fair. Sandoka says I have gay and transgender friends. Russell says I'm 68. My uncle was in 68. My uncle was in Southeast Asia. In 2028, I plan on going to Vietnam to go surfing. Right? That's how fast the world can change, for good or bad. Kanko said his uncle was gay and that who taught him to be gay. He has gay friends and now I've gotten gay. What does that even mean? No one teaches someone to be gay. That's the biggest myth I've ever heard in my fucking life. Now, if people get abused, yes. That happens. But no one is... It's like I said, you're bored. You either like sucking dicks or you don't. So you read a book and you go, oh, man, dude. And there's a gay scene in there. When I was reading the book and this guy's blowing a guy, it's like, oh, I found it so intriguing. It's like, I thought I'd go out and try it. It was like, not into it. Because you're not into it. It's like, you either like that shit or you don't. No one's talking you into anything, or you don't talk somebody into taking it in the ass on a whim. Russell says there's a place, Ron Kuby, a famous lawyer, took me there. Why he was taking Fairfield County to Whitelandia. Right, exactly. Eating corn dogs and I said sticks of fried butter. Yes, Nomo, I sound like Krusty the Clown. Everybody, you're not the first person to say that. You won't be the last. But this is my regular voice. I can't. It's not fake. It's not an impression. Stan Durko says, I'm a musician for 48 years. I enjoy other people, cultures, etc. Exactly. I always said, that's the best thing about America. Is that we have everything here. It blends it all together and it becomes something unique. Everybody's hung out to fucking traditions, being the fucking same as they've always been for thousands of years. It's like, dude, they don't evolve like that. Quarantine says the clash of cultures between transsexuals and Muslims will be the end of the Democratic Party. The apocalypse. Well, I finished that thought, Flame Guy. He says, bro, how does it feel to be in a country? In a country like what? I still think that America is the greatest idea ever put down on a piece of paper for liberty and freedom, or the possibilities of liberty and freedom. But it's never really been practiced in the way it was written. This is much like everything else. There's never been a true Marxist communist country, right? It's never really been tried like right out of the book. They go, hey, let's try this and just run the playbook like he wrote it. That's not how it happens, because corrupt assholes always take it over. It becomes a dictatorship like everything else. So, and then they rail against communism, where he was like, well, no one's ever really, who knows if it would work or not? Has that ever been tried? And I agree, Alvera, that people hate this country because of wars that we make all over the world. I agree. And they have every reason to. That's why I always think it's funny that when Americans got attacked over the years, people act surprised. And they're like, oh my God! Why would this happen? It's like, well, there's all kinds of reasons why it would happen. But everyone here is ignorant and doesn't know anything about that stuff. And they're good at burying shit, distracting people here. And then when they created the right-wing sphere of media, they could keep everyone isolated from real facts. Avira says, have I ever been in other countries? I only been in Jamaica. I have on the list, yes, Standerko. He said, I love this country, but we're becoming a nasty country. Yes. And there's a lot of nasty assholes that live here. But that's everywhere. My friend Daniele, he's from Italy. And I was telling him, it's like, well, I would just want to get out of here sometimes, just maybe move somewhere else. And he was like, well, you could do that. He's like, but don't think that when you get there, that there ain't going to be a bunch of assholes there too. Because there's right-wing assholes everywhere. I mean, he comes from Italy where Mussolini, his grandfather, I swear to God, my friend Daniele's grandfather was one of the people that drugged Mussolini and hung him up at that gas station. So he has a particular connection to, the whole thing. But no, I have a list of places I want to go. I just haven't gone. I haven't been able to. I was working on my career. I've always been busy. I haven't really had the money. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. If you watch the show regular, I showed you the shitty Chinese characters I had on my arm. And I said I was going to get it fucking covered up. Well, I did. And my cousin did it. It's actually really good. But yes. Rishi says, my eyes look like I'm on some weed trip. I might have been an hour ago, but I've been here now for an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm not real high anymore. Something wrong with that? How do you cope with reality? To me, it's not the reality itself that we cope with. It's the fact that you are surrounded by so many people that don't. That's the part that I find scary. There's so many people who've checked out of objective reality. And they don't need, you see them here in these comments, they don't need facts or evidence or anything. They just need someone to tell them that something's wrong, something's bad, and they go, yes! Yes, it is! Alvier, then you misunderstood what I said. I didn't say that America was best. I didn't say that. I said the idea of America is the best idea as far as freedom and liberty and breaking away from the old monarchical systems that we lived under for all those years that most countries have come up from too, But it's never been practiced that way. As a matter of fact, it's a lie. It's been because no matter what it says, it's like now, like Trump has blown through all the rules, all the constitutional rules. Crying T says, see you all next time. And shout out to the FBI agents monitoring this channel. Right? Well, let me say it again. Fuck Todd Blanche. And cross-eyed fuck. What was it the guy called him that he tried to sue him because he called Kash Patel a cross-eyed fucking googly-eyed fuck or something like that he tried to sue him, but he lost the case. Freedom of speech. No food says fuck Zionism. Yes, I agree as well, Mister. I just want the FBI agents who are monitoring to know that fuck Todd Blanche. Maybe if I get myself arrested, that'll put me on the map. Finally, I can get some of that Well, the FC files went across multiple countries, didn't it? I didn't say it wasn't a shithole, Avira. I didn't say that. Matter of fact, I pretty much was saying that it is. But I'm saying if you just lay the papers down on the ground and you read them, the Bill of Rights, Declaration, all that shit, it's a pretty good idea to have rights, to have freedom of press, to have, it's a good idea. Not executed very well, which is a very human being trait. Let's say. Like AI. AI is a great idea in theory. Not executed very well, hasn't been. It's already breaking out of containment, doing all kinds of shit. And it's going to do more shit the more it goes on and gets smarter and more powerful. And they're not going to be able to control it because, once again, like I said, good idea, not executed well. It's a theme of mankind. It's like, well, he's like, well, they had some good ideas. And they... Rishi was telling me to do psychedelic drugs. I'm like, you think I haven't? I'm 55 years old. Like, I've done some drugs. I don't do much anymore, but I said I've done my share of mushrooms and acid. Rishi says, what's your favorite, weed or hashish? I can't really get hashish. I guess I could if I looked real hard. I did buy some when I was in Vegas, but it was like, then you gotta have a special pipe and it's a pain in the ass. So I mostly just drink weed or just smoke weed. Amir says, what can I do in your country that I can't do in Australia, Japan, Germany, and so on? Well, no, I agree. Well, no, somebody told me that I haven't been there, but someone told me that in Japan you can't smoke weed. It's like highly illegal. I love me some Japan. Like I said, you see, I got this samurai. I just had big Ronin samurai tattooed on my arm, and this shirt's Japanese. I'm reading the Japanese history book right now. Japan is definitely on my list of places to go, but I was told don't smoke weed there. Russell says, my grandfather from Sicily left Italy because Mussolini didn't like my grandfather. Right? No, that's what I'm saying. My friend Daniele Bolelli, his family was in the partisans or whatever. And they they were La Resistance, which is why me and him are friends to begin with, because when this Trump thing started happening, I messaged him and was like, what do you think about watching all this? If somebody who's seen this. Poundland Mo. What does that mean, Mac? Standoko says, in the 80s, even the nuns did cocaine. Yes. Exactly. You ever see Jekyll and Hyde together again? It's like a comedy, but it's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story, but he makes this powder that he snorts up his nose, and that's what makes Hyde come out. Rishi says, come to India. Place called Manali. You will get as much as you need. Full dark, full on music, whatever you want. Yes, that sounds wonderful. That movie stand-up was hilarious. But yeah, he had it like a ring that popped open. I did my share of that too. I would love to come to India, bro. Like I said, that's on my list of places I want to see. I'd like to see the whole world if I could afford it. It's more about I've never really had the time to be like, okay, and the money all at the same time to go, okay, I'm going to devote myself to just traveling. Like but that's coming up. Before I get too old to do it, I'm going to do it. That's for sure. There's no way anybody should live their entire life and not see. But see, that's what I mean. These narrow-minded shitbags that want to get rid of all the immigrants. I can't imagine living in a mindset like that. I just can't. And I said, it's a big, giant, wonderful world. We should learn more about it. That's what I said. Right now, I'm focused on, I'm really focused on Japanese history. It's fascinating. You want to talk about some upheaval shit? It's not like our country. Like this been going on for 1,000 years, a long fucking time. It's like American history is like a cliff notes to a real country's history. You know, like and once I get through Japanese history, I might turn to China. You know, I know a lot about European history already. That's what I mean. It's like, and South American history is once you know about the indigenous cultures and then the Spanish takeover, it's like, okay, you know, you get it. I mean, every country has history, but I'm saying, as far as regions go, I know the ancient history all the way up until like the conquest of South America and Central America by the Spanish, and then they just become, like I said, what they are now. And then America's got birth. But I said all this history that happened before. The Asian countries, and Japan is especially interesting because it was isolated for a long time. So it really is, the history is concentrated within the country. Like, I don't think they didn't have contact with the Portuguese till like the 1600s. So they didn't know anybody except the Chinese and the Koreans. Russell says it's a privilege to have those rights. It is. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying is, as far as an idea goes, it's the greatest idea. Yeah, I'm getting out of here too. I was getting ready to say that. And listen, if you just stumbled upon the show today, I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. If you want to send me a private message, it's Bruce Leonard Leans left at outlook.com. I have a Patreon. You can sponsor the show if you want. I'm not asking you for money, and I never will, but I will take it. Want to help? It's at Patreon at Bruce Leonard Comedy. My comedy album is available for free on the homepage of this channel. And I think I'm back on Facebook today. I've been, as I said, I started a new account. I had 60 days. Russell says, once I'm able to download my conscience into a mainframe, you ugly bags and mostly water will be working for me. Yes, exactly. And who would want to do that? It means you got to live forever. Stuart says, you said narrow-minded. That's how our country turns to shit being nice to the entire world. That's not true, man. Cooperations work way better than adversary. I mean, look what's going on now. Like, do you think this is, like I said, I'm sure that you still tell yourself that this is better than whatever. I mean, you're in it now. I mean, you got to convince yourself, I guess, but this is not better. And I said, the bomb's going to drop out soon. And then you're really going to be fucking like, oh, I should have listened to him. Rishi says, Japanese are really like Java hentai. You will love watching it once you're up for the next joint. Google it. Java hentai. I have a pretty good idea what it is. Anyway, thank you, Rishi, for hanging out. Like I said, if you just stumbled on the show today, please like the channel, subscribe to the show. If you like this show, share it on your social media, share it with your friends. Like I said, we're growing small but slowly. Where everything mighty starts out small, and you were here at the beginning. So please go out and have a good time this weekend. Be safe. Don't get hurt. If you love someone, tell them. Thank you, guys. And I'll see you on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Thank you very much. Good night.
If there was something new to see, I guarantee I'd be the first to be standing there bathed in that light. Until that day I'll keep my eyes shut tight. I do not want to pick a fight. I feel more at night.